play of the game from way down.
True, silence. Rainer getting absolutely
A team wipe.
The living bomb's going.
Oh my goodness, the ring. Bob says Nico gonna find Rainer.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series. I'm your host Arrow, and tonight we're going to bring you a match from the Heroic Division, and then later we'll be popping off in B West. So we've got our teams ready to go on time, love to see it. And we're going to see a match tonight between ReGen and Sky5. So real quick, let's take a look at the standings. How are these teams doing so far? And as you can see, at week number technically 4 in the season, these teams are currently tied in the overall standings, so at 7 points. Now just to take a quick look here, it looks like Sky5 has had 4 matches, as has ReGen. Well, technically 3, because they both had 1 withdrawn World Hunger Avoidance team there, and looks like 2 dominations for Sky5, ReGen with 1 domination. So a slight difference there. More maps won by ReGen than Sky5, but ultimately those 2 dominations setting up Sky5 for the tie on the points there. And our maps tonight. We're going to see ReGen banning out first here the Cursed Hollow and Braxis Holdout. Sky5 gonna ban out the Battlefield of Eternity and Dragonshire, and our first map of the game is going to be Infernal Shrines, selected by ReGen. And that's where we're at. Draft is all ready to go. I don't believe Ricky Bobby would spell it your... Well, you know what? That's fine. Well, hope this is a good set then. You know what? Fair enough, Wolf. I mean, again, this is a tie series so far in points. Ultimately, ReGen has... If I pull them back up, let me pull both of these teams up here. If I've got it right, then ReGen has won all 3, but has some 2-1s in there. Let's see. So ReGen 2-1 over Archon, ReGen 2-1 over Rewind, and 2-0... Oh, right. They lost 2-0. Sorry, to Perfect Gems. There we go. That makes more sense. Okay, math. And then Sky5 had a 2-0 over Phoenix Rising Topaz. They lost 2-0 to Anti-Clown Association, and they lost 2-1 to Rewind. So there you go. That's where we're at currently in the Heroic Division. Evening, Murda. Thanks you. So good to see you here, supporting the ReGen organization, the kind of the flagship team, if you will. And right out of the gate, we're going to see ETC and Deathwing being banned out. RG and Sky5. So ETC, Deathwing. Dropping my pen all over the place here. Oriole going to be the second ban for Sky5, and no surprises here, as Oriole really going up in the meta, especially with that resurrection value. She was already right up at the top. Some of her changes really made her more viable, and then they said, hey, by the way, here, have a bonus. They need a Div Dean team so you can be captain. Man, I don't know what you're saying about my friend Murda there, Darth Cherrywood. And finally, Uther, the 4th ban, coming out. We need a Div D team. Then we'd have representation all across the Nexus Gaming series. let's see. So the original idea was that 8-bit was going to ReGen Phoenix. So that's how I was getting the Probius captaincy. But I guess Arrow didn't take 8-bit, but they still let me captain the team. Go figure. I don't recall that coming up. All right, so we've got the Johanna being picked up here by Sky5, and a pretty much instant lock on the Mal'Ganis Sylvanas. And Mal'Ganis here, again, we see him kind of sporadically. Oh, Lulu is captain. Oh, that makes a lot more sense. Okay. Let's see, Troy playing the Sylvanas. So, Sonya and Stukov going to be picked up. So these are some heroes that, again, point control, Sonya does really well on the shrines. As everything locks up there for a second. Trying to bring you guys down in XGDI. That was his evil plot. Ah, fair enough, fair enough. Kael'thas gonna be the pick. And you know what? You'll love to see it, because you hear about how Kael'thas is a, you know, he's a low-end hero, right? He's a hero that really punishes Div D, Div C, but you know what? Nobody plays him in, you know, the upper ranks. But he does. I mean, he gets value, and especially here. Especially on this map where he can put living bombs onto the minions, spreading the team apart, the opposing team apart, or just causing additional damage. So that's a really solid ban, and the Medivh as well, going to round out the third and final ban coming from Sky5. And Medivh enables a lot. I mean, he breaks the game. He allows you to go places you can't normally and get across things you can't normally. He can stall out your burst damage. So banning out the Medivh is very helpful, and I mean, we might see that burst damage right here. We could see that Jaina or Gul'dan are very common, although you've already got the kind of the Shrine Clear in the Sonya. Furl plays a lot of KT though, banning a player more than the hero. That's fair. Well, Furl's gonna bring in the Mephisto and Apple Mike on the Tracer. I remember seeing Apple Mike on the Tracer, so this is a fun pickup on this. And Porky coming in on the Valeera for the last pick here. Make sure I got everybody. Notorious Anduin. Oh, I didn't even mention Anduin. Anduin got picked up in there, guys. So having that light bomb to lock down some heroes with the Mal'Ganis after the sleeps. You could even go on to Malthael. There are numerous ways to stop a salvation, so probably not going to see a salvation. Well, we might. I mean, it might even depend on if they take consumed souls. It might be something that, you know, that they look at, that they consider. Why am I not? You know what? That is an excellent question. And you know what, Murda? I will make you a mod as soon as I figure out how to do that. I assume I have to put up I have to create a role, which I haven't done yet. So, yeah. Unless there's a way to do that that is easy that you know of. If I just have, type a... I wonder. Mod Murda RG. Does this work? Nope, didn't work. Porky doesn't have to heal tonight. Indeed. Slash mod? Alright, we'll try that. To Murda RG. Oh, there you go, Murda. All right, so prepare yourselves for battle as we get in on the first game of the night. Infernal Shrines. Over here on the left, we've got ReGen, the home team. TT Porky playing Valeera. Troy 1010 on the Sylvanas. Nintori playing the Anduin. Lupus on Mal'Ganis. And Carbon playing Malthael. And over here to the right, we've got Sky5. It's going to be Apple Mike on Tracer, Furl on Mephisto, Clonfinnegan on the Sonya, Goliath going to be playing the Johanna, and Alan by default on the Stukov. And you know what? I didn't do a poll. Let me pop that up real quick. While we're hanging out in the middle, I'll show the talents. Who wins game number 1? ReGen, Sky5. Oh, the easiest, shortest names. Poll is posted in chat. Just go to the drop down at the top right of the chat there and make sure that you not only select but also hit the vote button so that it records your vote. Porky looking for something here, is gonna get Tracer rather low. It looks like Tracer falls. She does. So first blood going over to ReGen, getting the kill onto Tracer. So there you go. All right, Porky now looking for Johanna. Just getting some pressure here as the XP trying to be gathered in the bot lane, but Sonya or Johanna taking just an absolute ton of damage there. Porky sticking onto Goliath, wanting to make sure that Johanna has to use that tap. Now that'll be up around the time the next Punisher comes in, but again, the silence, the Garrote there going onto Johanna, preventing the Iron Skin, and just the amount of damage here coming out, preventing Johanna from really getting anything. Also, keep in mind, crippling poison here. So going to be able to have the slows on targets for 4 seconds when she activates that and makes use of a spell ability. But Alan by default they're getting rooted, and now Porky getting another combo onto the Stukov. So 3 kills so far early in this game. Let's see, do we get a hat trick? Where does it show? Deaths, kills. I want kills. Where are the kills? There we go, kills. Up, one for each of them, so no hat trick. You know what? Fair enough, Darth Cherrywood. That's why they're there, you know, if nothing else, it says, hey, take a look at this. But Silence going out onto the Tracer and just absolutely demolishes the health bar between the Valera getting the Silence plus the damage over time from Sylvanas as well. This is a very difficult combination with these quick rotations between Valera and Sylvanas. 50-50 on the votes. So far, 4 kills to none in favor of ReGen, as they're going to work on their Shaman camp. And a little bit of a surprising setup here, as the bot camp was picked up earlier there by ReGen. But these mid siege camps have not been picked up by either team. It's not really been the priority focus. And currently ReGen sitting up nearly a level. They're going to be level 7 a fair bit before Sky5 here. The Leap of Faith pulling Sylvanas across, but Tracer manages to get that kill, but goes a little too deep, and the towers claim another death. What do we got out of Mephisto? Going into that Lightning Nova here, and we got Mal'Ganis popping off with those Fell Claws, pushing the Sonya away. I forgot to vote. I'm a slack. Murda! Murda! How do you forget to vote? I should take away your mod status for that. Murda RG here, everybody, the founder of the ReGen organization, for getting to vote for his flagship team. Feels good. But anyways, so Sonya's gonna get to put to sleep here, and it looks like pulling the Valera out really helped keep the Sonya alive there. The pulse bomb going out onto Valera, but she's gonna be okay. She's sitting about half health now. So is Sonya, as both teams have level 7s. Let's put those back up here and zoom out just a little so we can see the lane. So Mephisto going in with his Nova, trying to spread that damage around, reduce his cooldowns with each of those hits. Mal'Ganis having to pull back a little bit here, goes back in, gets that damage with his Fell Claws, and it's gonna be the kill onto Sonya, as Apple Mike there getting caught by the Valera and taken out by Malthael. Silence coming out to try to slow down the ReGen team. But Mephisto popping in gets put right to sleep. That's going to give ReGen the first Punisher of this game, and it's going to be a frozen Punisher. On top of having Sylvanas, they're going to have incredible push pressure here and also be able to shut down the towers. I'm not entirely sure how she shut down the actual fort before the Punisher froze it. Unless it must have been the Haunting Wave, maybe? I guess, I don't know. So Mephisto getting caught here by the Mal'Ganis, but the silence is going to keep Mal'Ganis away from that, and that's going to give ReGen here the first fort of the game. And there's still a relatively healthy Punisher here, so it'll get a little bit of damage into this keep. But instead of following that, we're going to see ReGen, they're going to go ahead and Hearth. They're going to gather their resources, fill up on their mana bars, and then continue their assault. And Sky5 currently sitting down about a level, almost a level and a half, with level 10s coming soon. And Tracer once again getting caught there by the Valeera and Sylvanas combination. So siege camp here now, possibly of consideration, but Mal'Ganis looking for that sleep. Not a lot of minion activity here on this, so have to be careful of that tower. Sylvanas is going to be able to shut down the tower, though. So the mid lane here getting a little bit of prep for the next Punisher that's coming in soon. And with level 10s, ReGen has absolutely no fear. They've got their minion wave coming in. They're willing and interested in taking this 4v3. Now, gonna check up here is Tracer and Malthael. Malthael getting the last rites, and Tracer getting the kill as well. So have to check. Did that count as a last right stack? It did, yeah. So apparently you can't rewind out of last rites. Did not know that. You have to time it absolutely perfectly, apparently, so that it goes off when you're in the rewind. But the bottom siege camp was picked up. We have level 10s from both teams now. And we're going to see Leap from Sonya, Durance of Hate from Mephisto, and Blessed Shield. So that's really the combo they're looking for to get them all rooted, pop off a bunch of AoE damage between the Mephisto and Sonya. On the other side, we've got the Wailing Arrow that's going to help prevent that, the Light Bomb as well. And of course, Valeera's got Cloak of Shadows to basically just say no, right? To just shut that down. So Mephisto sitting on the Shaman camp up top here. Sonya getting rooted by Anduin, spinning to win on the Valeera, keeping himself alive is Quan Finnegan. And Tracer, is Tracer really sitting at 0 stacks, or did she get the credit for that? Let's take a look. So she's 9, I think. Nope, she's sitting at 0 stacks. So I guess she died. She must have died after Malthael died. They were pretty close on their deaths there. Siege camp going to get picked up here by the ReGen team. And that'll, again, give them some push power here in the middle, which is where this next Punisher's coming from. Malthael has the full rotation of the team coming from Sky5. There's the stun going out. The Leap of Fate's going to keep him alive. Durance of Hate coming in onto the Mal'Ganis, rather. The Interrupt going out on the Carrion Swarm, but he's so far making it out. So is Johanna with basically no health, but Sonya not quite so lucky. Oh my gosh. It's a quad kill out of basically nowhere, as the team just following up. ReGen looking for those kills, splitting up and finding them, as so many of the heroes were low, and that all but guarantees them this mid fort from this siege camp. They're going to get the Shaman camp as well, so they're going to have some additional damage in the top lane here, as Stukov doesn't have much to really delay that. And this Punisher here in the mid lane is going to be an Arcane Punisher, and it's coming up soon. It's sitting at 27, so this is most likely going to be a ReGen Punisher. Never like to say absolutely for sure, just like Towers of Doom. It could happen. Carbon backed out of that kill on Stukov, yeah. Alright, so here comes the Punisher into the mid lane now. We've already got this fort down. Level 13s are up for ReGen so far. Still about 2/3 of a level to go for Sky5. They get the pull over the wall there using Johanna's Unstoppable, so she pulls that Punisher rather far away, especially with the towers being shut down. It's not going to provide a whole lot of value, so they want to make sure that this is away from the potential of a Valera gank or a Mal'Ganis Night Rush. But there's the silence going on into Tracer. Tracer getting just deleted basically there, and the Endurance of Hate hitting several, but so much damage coming in as Sonya gets brought out with the last rites. Johanna falling next here, and now with another kill, all 4 heroes, with the exception of Alan by default on the Stukov here, being taken out. ReGen looking to the core. Valera making use of that Cloak of Shadows to get away there from the Stukov. We're going to get as much of a defense as we can out of the Stukov and Tracer here, but it's just not looking great, as Tracer having to pull back here and the core sitting at 10%. Looks like this is going to be game number 1 going over to ReGen. Jordan 17-2. It's 18-2, buddy. You probably said that right before that last kill on the Stukov. So a very dominant performance here out of ReGen, making use of the silences out of Valera, the kill pressure, the dot damage. I mean, everybody on their team has the dot damage. Very strong performance there from them. Very quick game, even 11 minutes to get that first win of this series. Yikes. So when we started that Punisher, it was 14-12 and in levels, and Sky5 had about a half a level to go. So that means that in the time it took for that game to end, they managed to get basically no XP because they couldn't kill anything in that time. And ReGen was able to finish off their level 14 and also get 15 completed, so they got their level 16s. So, Sky5 has a tall order ahead of them. Gotta make... Oh, not game. I want pre-game. Come on back, everybody. So Sky5 has got a bit of a... Gotta make some changes here. Figure out what they're gonna do. Looks like we are going to Tomb of the Spider Queen. So that is a change. So we're going back into the old Season 7 priority maps here. And let's take a look at the map setup here as we're getting set up for game number 2. ReGen at the beginning here banned out the Braxis Holdout, banned out Cursed Hollow. Sky5 then banned out the Battlefield of Eternity and Dragonshire. So our first game was Infernal Shrines there, selected and won by ReGen. Game number 2 was Tomb of the Spider Queen, or is Tomb of the Spider Queen, it's coming up, and was the selection of ReGen. I'll go ahead and write down what we got here. See what we got. So make sure that we keep track of who they play so that I can forget all of the wonderful things that took place and pretend that I know what I'm talking about when we get to an interview. So how you guys doing in chat? What are y'all here rooting for? I know we got some ReGen folks out there. I saw at least one person here rooting for Sky5. Oops. Would you believe that Quan Finnegan was not actually a character in this? But that was Sonya. Go figure. All right, I'm set. Looks like we have one team ready. Looking for our second team ready, and then we'll be ready to go. And this, I like this. The teams are, they know what they want. They're ready to go. They've got their maps chosen right at the beginning, so we can move from one to the next game pretty much immediately. Darth Cherrywood coming in with the ReGen Phoenix logo. Love it. Love to see it. Some shout outs going out to ReGen there. I'm here for the dogs and disappoint. You know what you got to do, Lulu. You know what you got to do. You know what, Crafty Devil, that is absolutely 100% true. You can't reverse sweep if you don't lose the first game. Well, you know, Darth Cherrywood, if you want to get some of those cool ReGen emotes, hop on over to Murda RG and throw him a sub, and you can get some additional some additional sub emotes there. Murda, I will hop into that after the game. Alice, you want to come up here? You want to draft with me? Come on, you want to draft? We don't need player pop-ups. Come here. Come on. Come on. Here. You want up? Come on, up, up. Yes, they all said hi. Come here. Up we go. 1, 2, 3. Up we go. Oh, I know. I know. All right, help me draft this, okay? So we're gonna see ETC banned out first. So no beef. No beef tonight. There you go. I'm Lupus's mom. Well, Lupus's mom, glad that you're here to watch the show. Hope you enjoy it. So we're sticking with the same bands that we had in phase 1, round 1, game 1, whatever you want to call it. Sticking with that ETC and that Deathwing. Now the real question here is how does Sky5 address what they just dealt with? Do they adjust their bans here? Because they do have first pick. They could take the Oriole. Or they could force ReGen to take the Oriole. But that also leaves Uther up. So they'd stick with that Oriole. Okay, are you good? Here, you gotta be on camera. Let me move the chair a little bit. There you go. Is that better? Huh? Wanna stand up a little? Lupus's mom got to see Alice. That is true. Right here. This is Alice. The middle dog. So we're gonna see the Garrosh band. So leaving Uther on the table now. So last game we saw Johanna picked up. This is a good strong map for Johanna as well, with her wave clear and the quick rotations. They're not here for me, they're here for you. You look at them. And we're gonna stick with the Johanna. So does that mean that, does Uther get picked up by one of these teams? We could still potentially see the Johanna. You know, you make this difficult. 2 inches taller. I could probably make that happen. I can't make that happen while she's on my lap, but we are going to see the Uther picked up there. Lupus coming in with the Uther, and Anna going to be picked up by TT Porky. Hey, Monkus, welcome to the stream. And there's Furl's Kael'thas. So you did mention earlier that Furl plays some Kael'thas, and again, I mean, the Kael'thas can get some pretty good value here as well, being able to help clear those waves quickly, especially with the Johanna Condemn. The other thing that allows with the Condemn is, you know, bringing heroes in for that Living Bomb. Quan Finnegan going to pick up the Sylvanas, though. So a little bit of a change in the roles, but also in who's getting the Sylvanas. Sylvanas heading back to the other team. Are you good? Do you want to get down? I think Murda can be happy with his 880. You want to get down? I can't see who they banned. Who'd they ban? Looks like they banned Lucio. I like that ban. Lucio can help them enable rotations very quickly through this map. All right, I'm gonna let you get down. Here you go. There you go. And the Alarak going to be the final ban, and considering what happened with the Valera. Now, Valera was played by TT Porky. He's currently playing the Ana, so maybe that's not a direct threat. But of course, these teams have a pretty good idea of what the other teams play, right? So knowing that Porky's on the Ana, that they're going to be playing that, opens up the door for somebody else to play the Alarak. But we're going to see Vala and Leoric, the next two picks here. See if I can get caught up on these. Nintori switching around as well, so going on to the Leoric from the healer. And there we go. I'll cut up on one team at least. So we still need the offlaner and the healer here. So as we saw the Lucio banned out. So is Anduin? No. Okay. So we're going back into the Stukov. And it's potentially going to be Apple Mike on the Sonya. And Carbon coming in. Oh, Carbon coming in with the Maiev. Let's see, Furl on Kale. On by default's there. Yeah, I thought they might switch that up. So, interesting combination. So, Johanna can use her Iron Skin to be able to not negate, but reduce the effectiveness, provide an exit from the Warden's Cage. But you don't have a lot of time for that. Alright, what did I miss in chat? You need a chair that's higher. I can fix that after this. We got Sylvanas on Tomb is some hard to mess around with. Yep. She's such a force mag. Absolutely. Main tank Uther. I was just thinking that. Murda. Sky5 getting some of their heroes. Absolutely. Oh, you know what? I forgot. Let's get this poll set up. So, who wins game number 2? Is it going to be ReGen or is it going to be Sky5? What do you like? Who are you voting for? It's at the top of your chat. Just hit that drop down. Select the team you're going to vote for. Then make sure that you hit vote so that it counts your vote. I'm specifically talking to certain moderators in chat who may have forgotten to vote last round. This might be a good opportunity to remember to vote. Just throwing that option out there. Lawlet censor. What did I censor? Oh, right. Well, we have a pause. So there you go. So many ambush points for her to flank from. Yeah, absolutely. Good job. Way to vote this time, Blonde Duchess. And you know what? I mean, sure. In general, the overall theme is, you know, don't go dropping F-bombs in chat and all that stuff. Whatever if you do. It's just not the priority for me to do so. Giving it to ReGen again. I like their comp. Maiev Cherry on top. ReGen has my vote for a Maiev main tank Uther. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun time here. So, you know, hopefully Sky5 can kind of pull up their bootstraps and give up a good fight. Take us maybe to a game 3. Let's get our teams introduced. As we have ReGen on the left here, it's going to be Nintori playing the Leoric. We're going to have Lupus on Uther. Troy 1010 playing the Vala. We've got TT Porky on the Ana and Carbon on Maiev. And over here for Sky5 on the right, we've got Goliath playing Johanna. Alan by default on the Stukov. Furl on the Kael'thas. Apple Mike playing the Sylvanas. And Quan Finnegan on Sonya. The pull's coming in, grabbing Furl. Furl's in danger. And Vala going to finish the job on the Kael'thas. Apple Mike falling very low as well. Is going to be able to make it back to get that healing well. And heal right back up. And Carbon has absolutely no fear. Says, I will come in right under your towers for the attempt at getting a tether on you and pulling you back. And why not? I mean, they were very aggressive in the last game. They were able to pull off a lot of kills. So, you know, it's on Sky5 to show that they can defend that and counter that and get kills. So, and that's what they need to do. Now, Johanna, great for the map. Not necessarily great for, you know, that for countering what they're looking to do maybe. So we'll see how that turns out. She does have the potential to blind so that the Umbral Bind doesn't land, because that's of course based on your next auto attack. She has the Condemn, she has the Blessed Shield, so she has ways to help defend her team. It's just a oh, son of a gun. Sorry guys. Furl gonna be the next to fall, it looks like, as the body block's coming out from Carbon. I can't look away from this team for 1 second to show a camp invade, or not even an invade, just a camp. But anyways, yeah, so, you know, you've got the Sonya, you've got the Johanna and the Stukov, so I don't know. They got to find a way to make this aggressive regen comp stall out a bit. And there comes the tether, the stun onto Stukov, gonna have that healing grenade, reducing his healing effectiveness by 100%. But no kills on that round. And the stun coming out here, keeping, ultimately Johanna walking in there, keeping the Uther from pulling back, the tether pulling in Apple Mike, and they've got the Living Bomb now, so having to spread apart there, make sure that they don't spread that. Let's check in on Leoric and Sonya here, because we do seem to have a brief lull. The chase is on for Maiev, but Maiev has absolutely no fear, doesn't care. Come get me, she says. Is gonna get the tether onto Sylvanas. She makes use of that haunting wave to get out as she gets the unstoppable. Blink build hype. Now, Leoric has not taken talents. Is this a new strategy? Yeah, Monk is calling it out there. Like, I don't know. We'll see something about that soon, I'm sure. God dang it. All right, well, the Kael'thas falling there, once again getting the Ana kill there. Johanna having to pull away, nearly falling herself, and has 21 of the team's gems, so that's almost all of the gems available for Sky5. So it'd be very, very bad for them if they lost the Johanna at this point. This time Maiev taken a bunch of damage, but is able to get away, getting some Phantom Knife resets there. And there you go. So level 7 now picked up for ReGen. I'm trying to catch up with your guys' chat at the same time. There's so much going on here. Gonna check in on the bot lane here just to see how things are going down here. We'll keep an eye on the health bars, see what's going on as the blue team, ReGen, gonna get the first web weavers of the game here. Now, XP equalized a little bit, so Sky5 is just a little bit behind on the XP here. And there's, again, Maiev coming in, getting the pull. Goliath falling low and getting the kill onto 2. And that's the 20 gems right there that are going to go away. Right before a web weaver, no less. ReGen going to get the stun onto Confinnegan, whirlwinding away, having to dodge that web weaver wave as well. Yeah, Leoric still with absolutely no talents, so feels awkward. So the first fort is going to go down there in the mid lane. Rotations coming up here into the top lane, as well as the web weaver's getting a little bit of damage here. Johanna going in, does have the silence to help zone out, so a little bit of a narrow passage for ReGen to come into, but the pull coming in onto Goliath could fall again. Does the Ana getting the kill there at the end, and now it's Sonya falling as well. 7 kills to 1 so far in this game. Now there's no Web Weaver in the top, but they do have level 10s. But all 3 forts going down in favor of ReGen here. So there you go. With the minions coming in, top fort. Sorry, I said all 3 forts. 2 forts went down. This one's going to be the 3rd one with the minions coming in here. And I think we did see the nano boost going out onto Uther here. The Warden's Cage coming in is going to pull the Stukov back in, so they get the 2 kills out of that. And Vala taking the auto attack build too. Not the most common. Getting into that, is it Krita the Hunter? Yeah. And now we've got an early boss play at 6.5 minutes with 2 levels ahead. The level 10s. Sky5 coming up soon on that. They're going to start working here onto the middle bruiser camp to have something going so that they can deal with this boss pressure now. And try to go clear that up before it gets any significant damage onto this fort wall or the keep. Yeah, Nano Uther is rough. Here come the Web Weavers. If this was a little bit later in the game, this could very easily be like a game-winning push if the timing was a little bit better on that. As it is, it'll just be, you know, a solid amount of push. They're going to get the 1 tower, and it looks like they're going to go ahead and spread out into the lower half of the map. They've already got this mid fort wall, or keep wall rather, down, and only 1 ultimate down. We have all the ultimates on the side of Sky5 though, as Uther just now completing his level 1 quest, so that'll help him on the mana side of things. Blessed Shield, I think, went out there. There's the leap, looking for the kill onto the Vala. They get it, and with the living bombs, could potentially get the Uther, but the Warden's Cage pulling everybody in. Hit nearly every wall that there was to be had there. Almost getting the kill on the Uther, but not quite, and instead it's going to be the other side's tank, Johanna, falling. As level 13's now available for ReGen. Mid keep is about to go down. There's still a Web Weaver that just finished here in the bot keep area. A catapult as well, so that's going to take some damage. I'm not sure it's going to go down. And maybe not. Maybe we're not going to see the mid keep go down. Top keep has a lot here, though. But Kael'thas just pops in, takes care of that. 14 to 12, so this is a familiar position. We saw this last game. And Sky5 right now just down the talents. There's no Punisher to have to deal with. But if they find themselves losing a hero or two, this could turn into a dead keep and ultimately game. So they've got to be a little careful. Sonya is going to get pulled back in, spinning to win. Trying to make it out. Is going to get taken out by Vala, however. Sylvanas getting a fair bit of damage, but getting pulled back in there. And Uther's got that nano boost. They get the kill onto Johanna from Maiev. And Sylvanas gets over the wall, but the Holy Shock completing that kill. And as just mentioned, with those deaths here, ReGen's going to start clearing out these minions and work on this core. And that's a lot of XP that they can get, too. I mean, that certainly helps them to get closer to level 16. And once again, you know, with level 12, and the combo goes out. Kael'thas next to his fort, doesn't matter. And Johanna's coming back in, looking to see if they can't stall this out a bit. Alan by default, though, is going to fall on the Stukov, and Sonya going back in. They get the kill onto the Leoric. And it looks like they can't actually quite finish this right now. Leap's going to get in onto the Vala. Maybe, never mind, not quite getting there. The Sonya getting pulled back as Apple Mike there in the back, getting the Ana. And Sonya trying to look for that spear, but not quite able to get it. Leoric's going to try to Hearth, but his Hearth Not going to get completed in time here. Uses the Wraithwalk to try to get away. That should be coming up in a few seconds here again. Got a full commitment of 3 here. Looking for the silence maybe to make sure that he can't Wraithwalk away, but it's not going to matter. That's going to be another kill. So that's going to give 16s over to ReGen. Still up a talent tier over level 14s here for Sky5. But getting him some kills here puts him back into this game. It gives him the opportunity now to get some camps and see if they can get some pressure here. Leoric's going to be gone here for another 15 seconds. They see... they don't see the Uther. They get the pull in there, and Maiev is in danger. The silence... They get the kill onto Maiev, and with the big stun, however, from the Divine Storm out of Uther, helping to secure the kill onto that Sonya. And now Sylvanas, so low, has to use that Haunting Wave to get out of there. Johanna and Stukov as well in danger, having to run away. And they're still on the hunt here, looking for the stall onto Johanna, using that Holy Shock to make sure that she can't mount. Stukov, I believe, is hard thing. I'm not going to check it out. He should be showing up here. But the Sleep Dart onto Johanna is going to get her stalled out. Sylvanas as well coming back in. And really, they need to get 16s. They got to get 16s out of the minions here nearby. There is still this camp, Bruiser camp in the middle as the bottom keep's going to go down. Still got the 16 levels of scaling. That is true. It's like you guys know each other. And there's the Bruiser camp, so it's going to fall at the core. Still no 16s for Sky5, but they're looking. They get the Blessed Shield, the Root, and the Silence landing here onto Vala. Somehow still alive amongst all of that. There she goes, and there's the Warden's Cage once again pulling everybody back in. They get the kill onto Kael'thas. Sylvanas trying to make it away here. Uses the Haunting Wave to get stunned before she can make use of that Unstoppable. And the core taking damage here. There's a catapult up in the top lane. Divine Storm coming out onto the Sonya, looking to get that kill. The pull back is going to make it so that this is game number 2, going over to ReGen. All right, so we are way ahead of our time, so I'm gonna work on setting up an interview here, and then we'll probably do a replay cast. See if I can find one that I can get done in that time. Get over and oh, wrong thing. Sorry. There we go. And it does not want to connect. That's unfortunate. There we go. It has not yet been cast yet, Hung Fu. That'll be coming up at 11 o'clock Eastern.
Hello.
Hey, there we go. Welcome, Mr. Porky from ReGen. Congratulations on your victory there.
Thank you.
So I got to put up your logo there. So, all right. So game number 1 was a quick game. It was 11 minutes there on Infernal Shrines. Game number 2 was a little bit longer, but you guys, you had like an AI Leoric or something going on there because they decided not to pick any talents. What was up with that?
Oh no, he was there. I don't know what Nintori was doing. I didn't notice until like level 10, level 13, and I'm like, can you entomb him? And he's like, what's that?
That's just not what we do here.
So I don't know what was going on there. I told him to pick his talents, but I don't know. I just can't control him. He's out of control.
Gotcha.
Long gone.
Well, so all right, so let's go back to game number 1. So you guys are going through the draft. was Valera always on your mind, or was it something that you did specifically because you saw what they picked up?
As soon as I saw the Tracer and the Zonia, I was just like, we wanted to flex the Last Assassin in case stuff like this happens. I think Valera is. I originally wanted to pick Medivh, but they banned that out. So I was thinking something along the lines of like Valera, Zeratul, Maiev. But when I saw the Tracer, I just knew Valera was the pick.
Sure. And obviously there was, some similarity in the bans at the beginning. You saw the Deathwing and the Ariel, the ETC in both games. I was pretty sure that you guys were going to pick up the Uther when you didn't ban it in game number 2, but in game number 1 there, or really in both games, so, Deathwing is relatively still new to the Nexus, certainly was banned, globally banned for a couple of weeks. So it's really only seen 1 full week of play. This is technically the 2nd week of play. And obviously, you guys are banning it out. So how do you feel about that hero overall? Have you guys played it much yourselves? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, we play it. I know we play it a lot in houses and some Storm League. I think Deathwing is not that great, but it just restricts your draft too much. And I don't really like to play. Oh, it's really boring playing Greymane, Leoric, Malthael every game.
Makes sense.
We just want to switch things up, and I'd rather just ban it and have a good time. Sure,
makes sense. And so in game number 2, you guys set up with they had very much the same draft. They just changed up the Kael'thas and Sylvanas there for the Tracer and Mephisto. Obviously, your guys' draft very different. So were you expecting them to go into a similar draft as they did game 1 to start with?
I don't really expect them to go. I don't really draft that way. Well, Troy does our drafting too. It's me and Troy. I didn't really expect them. I don't really draft around like them going the same thing, because like I know a lot of Divas hero type people change things up, and I just want my drafts to be adaptable. I don't want to like stick myself into thinking they're doing that. They did this draft last game, so they're gonna do it again. I don't like to stick myself to that philosophy.
Sure. So you guys started with the Ana Uther. Obviously, you came with your DPS later, as you mentioned, that final DPS at the end being the Maiev. So as you guys are going through the draft, like what things are you guys talking about to prepare so that we can, help other people that are watching that are not in Heroic Division? What are the things that you guys are identifying as they're popping up their heroes and you guys are talking about yours?
So basically, the 2 things that you need to know are what are the OP heroes? What heroes counter the enemy heroes? Those are the 2 things you want to draft around. So your draft needs to be you need to get in your draft. You need OP heroes, you need wave clear, you need camp clear, and you need heroes that counter the enemy heroes. So those are the 4 things that you need to look for. So like in our draft, we get Ana Uther because that is broken, and then we follow up with Vala because it's really good. It has Vault. It's really good against stuff like Kael'thas, Joanna, and Stukov. They really have a hard time landing their things against Vala's movement speed. And then we get Leoric Maiev for that wave clear and the engage.
Gotcha.
That was basically our thought process.
Yeah, that made a lot of sense too. I mentioned early in the game that, with how you guys have played, especially in game 1, very aggressive, always looking for that, isolated target, or in some cases not even worrying about isolating a target, just going after the Tracer, that, Sky5 had to find a way to address that. And I didn't feel like they really did. They had a lot of, kind of... They had strong heroes in the Johanna and the Stukov, but they were heroes that like couldn't really stop you if you got up in their face, from doing what you wanted to the rest of the team. You have Maiev come into your face and get kills, and then you've got Vala throwing out the damage and getting more kills, and Uther gets in your face and gets more kills. Like they were constantly on the defensive and pulling back, and didn't really address your burst potential, your focus. So, to just go into a little bit of theory crafting, and just pick one hero. What one adjustment would you have made to their draft that would have potentially helped against your comp?
I would not have drafted the Tracer at all. I think that is a very bad pick, especially on that map and especially against our team. I think they should probably have gone for something like Hanzo.
And that's because Hanzo's a little bit farther back. He's a little bit safer. He's got long range
It has wave
poke.
clear. It has arrow. He has mobility, or he has a little mobility.
Sure.
Yeah, and I don't think Tracer is very good on Infernal Shrines, and it's not really good with Stukov.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Cool. Well, last question here for you. What moment tonight, other than learning that your Leoric hadn't picked a talent, what moment tonight was an a special, highlight moment for you that either you or your team or your opponents did?
I guess for me, it was getting those early kills as Valera, my team. I think especially Troy was yelling at me for picking Valera. I'm like, no, this is good. I got it. And I think that just solidified my Valera. So maybe you'll see it in future NGS games. Who knows?
Could be. All right, good deal. Well, let's go ahead and wrap up. Any shout outs you'd like to make?
Shout outs to my team ReGen. Shout outs to the ReGen fam. You, Arrow, being part of that. Love you. Yeah, that's it. And thanks for Nintori for subbing this game.
Nice. Good deal. Well, thanks for joining me here tonight. Enjoy your bonus points, getting that 3 points. And I think, let me pull back up the standings. I think that puts you guys right up at the top, right? 10 points? Yeah, so you're tied now with Anti-Climb Association. Although obviously they've only played 4 games. So there you go. Good luck with the rest of your season.
Thank you.
All right, so let's take a look. Let's see if we can grab ourselves a replay cast since we've got a full hour. Should be able to make that work. There are plenty of them here. Oh, let's see. Hey, Darth Cherrywood. Who would you want to see? You want to see are there any particular games that you're like, hey, I should vote for that one? I'm gonna pull up some games here and see. We could do let's see. We could do Virtual Murky Slayers versus Tickle Me Tassadar. That's a Div A game. We could see. Let's see. We could see Lubu versus Woodley. That's a Div C East game. So you know what? Let's just do that. Let's just put up a quick vote. So I will put up a vote. I'm just gonna do those two. Which one do you want to see? We'll do which cast should I run? Div A, Div C East. And that is Lubu versus Woodleague or VMS versus TMT. I'm just gonna put that up for 60 seconds. Let you guys kind of mull that one over. That's actually not a bad idea. Let me actually add that one to the votes. Hold on. I can't edit the poll? All right, let me adjust. I'm gonna put up a new poll. So, which games should I cast? So Div A, Div C East, or Div B East. That was Jailbait versus Demonic Entity Within. Lubu versus Woodleague, or VMS versus TMT. All right, we'll try that again. So vote for your favorite there. Two of those are older. The Virtual Murky Slayers and Lubu games are both older. The Jailbait, obviously, that was last night. But it also happens to be a Div V East game, so I wouldn't mind casting it for, the bonus scouting opportunities. Ooh, people liking the B East so far. Let's see. How's our vote looking? Still looking pretty heavy for the B East. With FC versus... Just filling in the time. I got an hour, Ektar, so... Alright, looks like we're going to go for the Div B East. So let me get that set up. Give me 2 minutes. I'll be right back.